All right. See, in our previous session, so whatever we've been like discussing on the other day was not recorded. So that's the only reason why I hadn't even got the chance to provide the recording. All right. So in order to compensate that, so today we'll be recapping what we have discussed on the previous session, and then we will jump on to the subject if time permits, because on the day we have dealt with so many technical details, right? We'll try to reiterate or recap everything that we discussed, and then slowly we will move forward. All right. Can somebody tell me, like everybody, not somebody, are you guys comfortable in doing all the tasks assigned till today? Just yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
You are good, right? Perfect. Perfect. Okay. I don't want to waste the time in reviewing all of their foundation, but when technical stuff is increasing a bit, then we'll be reviewing each and every task in our class. All right. So on the previous day, what we have discussed, we have started the UI policies. Basically, we have two types of development. I'll still keep this as day 6. I'll just put one more as day 7 so that it will be intact, which is already existing. So let me just modify it. Day 7. All right. So we started with client-side development, and then we have server-side development as well. So this is the two types of development within the platform that you can do. Right. When I say client-side development, all you have to remember is on the browser side. This has no relationship with the server. Then what is meant by server-side development? Which is all about the database. It is all about the database. For example, if you wanted to change the data inside a table, then you will do the server-side development. Or else, if you wanted to achieve some functionality where your data comes into picture, with that data, you are achieving that functionality, then you will use server-side development. On the other side, we have client-side development. That means on the browser side means what? On the form level. If you want to perform any sort of activity on the form level, you will use the client-side development. In these client-side versus server-side development, we have several other development components. Using those components, you will be implementing the functionality. What is the primary role of a developer? You need to develop the functionality based on the requirement that is given to you. Right. First, you need to identify which side development you need to choose. If it is any form level changes that you wanted to achieve, you will obviously go for client-side development. On this client-side development, we have only two components, nothing much. UI policies, UI policy actions. This is one concept, and the other concept is client scripts. 95% of your development can be done using these two components, nothing else. Earlier, we used to use UI macros, UI pages using JavaScript. But nowadays, this is not the case with ServiceNow, because there are a lot of technology advancements are made to the platform so that everything can be achieved using UI policy actions, and then client scripts. So if you know these components well, you can do any sort of client-side development. This requires scripting knowledge as well. That we will be discussing in our class. Then what about the server side? So once we are done with this client-side development, we'll slowly go to this server-side development. This server-side development has a lot of components. For example, business rules, script includes, and then we have email actions, and then we have workflows, we have lot many other components we need to deal with. If you ask me, not only these two components on the client side, there are other concepts also we will discuss once we slowly understand concept by concept. Okay, this is what is discussed on the other day. Now, let me start UI policies again. Now, you know how to create a custom table. You know how to create a field. You know what data type being utilized for that particular form, right? Now, on that particular form, if you wanted to do some sort of extra activities, then you will go for this UI policies. UI policies. Though the name is UI policies, what you are doing, all of that you are doing on the client side is form level activities. I can say that form level activities. What are these form level activities? See, if you wanted to make a field mandatory on the form, or else if you wanted to make a field read only on the form, if you wanted to make a field to be hidden or shown, then if you wanted to achieve these three functionalities on the form level, you will choose the UI policies. Nothing else. There is no other concept which is involved with UI policies. But once you learn these things, we'll slowly learn these UI policies can be utilized in any other ways or not. First, you need to understand what is the main purpose of a UI policy. UI policy is designed in such a way that if you wanted to make a field mandatory, read only, if you wanted to hide that field on the form, then you can go for this UI policies. What is the opposite of mandatory? Non-mandatory. This also you can do that. What is the opposite of read only? Editable. If you make a field read only, you cannot edit, right? That means the opposite is editable. So you will take the UI policies, you will be achieving all these functionalities on the form. How can you do that? Let me just take you to the instance. UI policies concept is very simple. Whenever you see any requirement which are bounded to these three lines, then you will go and then configure your UI policies. Now, what I'll do, I'll simply go. I'm logged in as system administrator. If you wanted to work as a developer, what role you need? System administrator. Right. What I'll be doing, I'm just opening my incident form, which is already there out of the box. This is my incident form, right? If you look at the form, see, let me just zoom in a bit. If you look at the form, the caller, which is already mandatory, how can you identify which is mandatory or non-mandatory on the field, on the form? You will see one asterisk beside that particular field. So that is mandatory. Here, short description is also mandatory. How this short description is mandatory? Because the ServiceNow has designed the form in such a way that these two fields are mandatory on the incident form. If these two fields values, so this is field value. This is field, whatever you enter here, that is a field value. If these two values are filled in, then only this form will be submitted. Otherwise, it won't. Let me just try. See what it is showing? The error message. The following mandatory fields are not filled in. Short description caller. If you fill that, the form will be submitted. Right. Now, you will be getting a requirement something like this. I want the state field to be mandatory. I want this assignment group field to be read only. I don't want this service field to be visible on the form. That means you need to hide this field. Then you will use the concept called UI policies. See this? If you wanted to make any field on the form mandatory, non-mandatory, read-only editable, hide or show, then you will go for this UI policies. How can you configure? Right click on the form header, configure, go to UI policies. Now click on new. If you come like this, the table will be automatically populated because you are already coming from an existing form or a new form, right? Or else you can simply type here also. You can simply type here also UI policies. See here under system UI, you will find all the UI policies. What is the backend name of the table? sys_UI_policy. You will always see the table name in the URL after your instance domain. See, up to which this is your instance, this is your domain. After that, you will see the table name, and then this underscore list is common for every list view. Okay, and then you will see these parameters. These parameters are defined behind the scenes. You will get to know what is this sysform when we discuss the script includes concept. Okay, now I'm going to write one UI policy. Make state, make fields. You can give any name. This is my name of the UI policy. See, you won't find the name for the UI policy. What is the short description that you are giving? Based on that short description, you need to identify your UI policy. For every other component in the ServiceNow development has name field, but this UI policy doesn't have name field. What is the short description that you are giving that you need to use in order to identify this UI policy? For example, see here, short description. How can you identify this particular UI policy? Using the short description, because name field is not there. That's the reason why whenever you are developing a UI policy, you need to give an appropriate name in order to easily understandable by others. It should be understandable by others. Even if you wanted to understand after 5 or 6 months later, though you created that UI policy, you need to give that appropriate name. Okay. Now, see the table name, short description, application is global, scope, active, true. Now, when to apply? See this? This is form section, right? If you wanted to give a condition to your UI policy, then you can give the condition using this condition builder. Okay. For example, let me just open my incident form. Incident.form. Now, whenever the state is in progress, I wanted this state field to be mandatory. Okay. Right now, when the state is new, this state field is not mandatory, right? If you wanted to do a mandatory, for example, if I make the state mandatory, you wanted this channel to be mandatory, then you can do that sort of activity. Let me just make, I'm doing all of these changes when state is in progress. I'll just choose state. This is an operator. See, these many operators are there. State is in progress. This is my condition. If you wanted to give a more number of condition, you can use this logical and logical R. I already told you what is logical and logical R. Okay. Now I'll just save it. Now I wanted to make channel as mandatory field when state is in progress. Now what I'll do, I'll come to the bottom of the page. See, you will find UI policy actions as a related list to this particular table, sys_UI_policy. Then click on this new. Everything is configurable. Okay, you no need to use a single line of code. What you can do here, you can simply select the field, whatever you wanted to make a field mandatory. So the channel you wanted to make it mandatory, right? See, here you will find the option mandatory, visible, and then read only. These three operations. So whatever we have written, these are there here. See, now I wanted to make this field channel is mandatory. Let me just save it. Once this is saved, go here, refresh. Now see, now the state is new, right? That's the reason why this channel field is not mandatory. When I make this as in progress, see, this channel is mandatory. That means what is happening behind the scenes? This UI policy is running. You have given a condition when the state is in progress, and then you are performing the action. Now, when the state is in progress, for example, if you wanted to make this assignment group as read only, how can you do that? You will write one more UI policy action. Choose your field, assignment group. So this assigned to, this is assignment group. Okay. This one, read only, true, and then submit. Now, if you come here, just reload. Now you need to see two changes. Now the state is new, channel is non-mandatory, this is editable. See, you can edit anything. Now, if I make the state change from new to in progress, now you see the channel is mandatory, the assignment group is read only. You cannot edit. For every action, you need to write one more UI policy action. That's it. Now, if I go to my UI policy again, now when the state is in progress, I don't want to show this assigned to field. This field has to be hidden. Then what I need to do? I need to write one more UI policy action, and then I'll choose, probably I'll choose assigned to, and then visible false. Visible true means that will be shown on the form. Visible false means that will not be shown. Submitting, and then refresh this. Now, state new, channel is non-mandatory, assignment group is editable. This is shown on the form. Now, when I make this as in progress, now you see, channel is mandatory. This is read only, assigned to field has gone. Got the concept of UI policy now? Any questions?
Got it, Nalin.
Got it?
Yes.
Only for these three requirements you will go for this UI policies, nothing else. Okay. These are UI policy actions. Policy actions means what you need to do. Like this, you need to remember. What is UI policy? When to do. UI policy means when to do. UI policy action means what you want to do. Why I'm saying like this? If you go to your UI policy, then probably you will get, you'll take the updated field. See, whenever you wanted to sort the list view, always take updated field. Okay, updated is already there. See, just click on this. The entire list will be sorted. Now, open your UI policy. Now, what you are doing here, if you closely observe, see, you're defining everything in your UI policy. That means you're defining when this has to be run by giving conditions. If you go down, what you need to do, that you are doing using the UI policy action. That's it, nothing else. Okay. Now, if I go here, see, there is one related link called advanced view. If you click on this advanced view, then you will find a few more other fields. These are the fields. See this? The first one, which is global. You already know one form has different views, right? If you're writing this UI policy at a global level, then all the form views will be getting this UI policy. If you uncheck, you can define the specific view. So these are the available views for that particular incident form, and then you can define it. That's the use of the global. Now, the second one, which is on load. What does this mean? Basically, when I open any form, for example, I'm going to my list view. I'm clicking on this new button, right? When I hit this button, see the one gray color circle is rotating in your browser tab. See this? If you refresh also, you can find that fraction of seconds. That means the form is getting loaded. At that time, if you wanted to run your UI policy, then you will check this. If you uncheck this, what will happen? If you uncheck this, this UI policy will run only when field changes. By default, this onload is checked. You don't need to modify anything, right? But if you wanted to make this UI policy not to run at the time of loading, you can uncheck. If you wanted to run this at the time of loading, check it. That's it. All right. Now there is one more option called reverse if false. Why this is checked in? See, if you go here, you're doing 3 UI policy actions, right? You're doing 3 UI policy actions. Now, if I go to my incident form, now you see, when the state is new, everything is there. When the state is in progress, my UI policy is running. When I make this to any other state, then again, all the fields are coming back. This is what reverse if false. See this? Whatever the actions that I'm doing here in my UI policy at the related list, the opposite has to be done when the condition is false. See this? I want this UI policy to be run when state is in progress. What if the state is new? What if the state is on hold? What if the state is closed? Then all of your actions will be reversed. That is what reverse if false. Now, there is one more option called inherit. Inherit means, for example, if this incident is your parent table, if this incident table has multiple child tables, if you define your UI policy on parent table, then if you check this UI policy will be inherited to all the child tables. That is what is the benefit of this inherit. If you uncheck it, this UI policy will be run on incident table only, that's the parent table. If this incident table has multiple child table, this UI policy, you want this UI policy to be run on child tables also, then you will click on this. Then this UI policy will be inherited to the child tables automatically. This is what the advanced view. Got the idea? Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I have small doubt, man. Under UI policy actions, you added 3 things, right? Like,
Correct.
yeah, looks like this assignment group and assign to added some kind of red symbol. May I know?
What is
Yeah.
this red color, right? So
Yes.
see, this assignment group and assign to has this color coding. That what is that? The circle with different color. That is what is your UI style. Let me just open this assignment. Right? See, if you go to this, let me just go to the form so that I can tell you in a better way. See, this is your assignment group. Now, right click, configure styles. Click on this configure styles. If you click on that, you will see whether that particular assignment group field has the style or not. Let me just copy this. This is the table, right? Dot list. Go there, and then what is the table? Which is incident, right? Now, see, for this incident, you have this field. Now you see, this is incident table, this is your caller field, and this is your CSS. That means if you wanted to apply the style to your particular field, then that style will be inherited. Now, if I go back, see here, whatever the style, if you wanted to give, you can give. For example, I wanted to give some sort of style to my field, this category field. How can I give? Let me just define it. New I'll just select the field called table and then category, right? I can give the value like this. Now I'll copy maybe the background color. I'll just give the CS background color. What I'll do, I'll go to HTML color code and click on it. Probably I'll copy this, then put your hexadecimal code like this. Now let me just save it. Now if we go here, then refresh. And what is background color, right? And then 30 pixels. Okay. Let me just background underscore color. Is there any typo? I'll give red. Let me just check. This has to be applied. Can't take care of it. Otherwise, what I'll do, let me just copy this background position and background padding and position. I'm adding to my category field. Let me just check whether it is working or not. I'll tell you why the circle is coming. Okay. It has to be done. Let me just remove the value probably. But it's not applied. It should apply. Even if you give your table or not, let me just go to the UI styles, field styles. Okay, whenever we are not getting any output, we will always check the docs.servicenow.com. Let me just take probably this style. See this background color we are giving. Let me just copy this, then paste it here to my category. Short description. Instead of category, I'm applying this on short description. Now you see a different other color. If you want to make it as green, probably you can modify like this. And then the color is white. Let me just save it. It will be green, somewhat looking good, right? It is also white is also working. So let me just check with this code, hexadecimal code. It has to work. Just save it. Go back. Now we see. Okay, so whatever the decoration that you wanted to do on the form level, you can always go to that styles and then you can modify it according to that. That particular circle has to be come, but you need to understand there is a catch here. That circle will be coming only for the, see here, reference fields. Now see, this assignment group is a reference field. This assign to is a reference field. For example, this channel is a list type, right? Now, when you go to your UI policy, now you see only this coloring has been applying only to reference fields, not to any other types. The ServiceNow has made the system like that. For example, if you go to your schema of a table, only reference field have that one more set of tables. But if you go to the other normal fields, you won't find that. Even that coloring also, the ServiceNow is given to this reference fields. That's the reason why if any field that is a reference field, that means that is taking the data from another table, then you will find this difference.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, madam.
However, if you wanted to apply the styles, you can apply like this. This is also covered. Got it?
Yeah, yes. Got it.
Perfect. Now, let me just, now you see, under related links, now we are in advanced view. If you wanted to hide all of this, then you can simply click on this default view. You will be coming back from that advanced view. Okay, this is good. Your life is good, right? You are able to do all these sort of activities. Now, I'm going to the advanced view again. Okay, if you go to script and then click on this run script. Now you see, you will be getting two script areas, executive true, executive false, right? When to apply condition you are giving. If this condition is satisfied, then this true block will be executed. This true block will be executed. If your condition is false, then your else block will be executed. See this? Your else block will be executed. How can you write the script? For that, the ServiceNow is giving, on the client side, we have an API called GlideForm. We have an API or class, either way you can call it. A class has a lot of methods and properties. Even object has methods and properties. Using these methods, in this script area, you will be achieving the same actions. Understand? We have already discussed what is class, what is object. Understood on that day what is class and what is object? Do we have to still recap that? You're good, right?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Now, see, what are the actions that you are achieving? See this assignment group and then contact type assigned to, you're doing those actions, right? Let me just check this. Then I'll try to delete them. Okay. Now, whatever the actions, UI policy actions that I defined, I have deleted. Now, if I go to my incident form, let me just reload. If I make the change, the state from new to in progress, now you see nothing is happening because I have deleted all my UI policy actions. Now, what I wanted to do, this time I won't use any configuration. I'll use script in order to achieve the same. Now, when this is true, when the state is in progress is true, what I wanted to do, I wanted to make the contact type as mandatory, right? Now, what I'll use g_form. If you put dot, all the methods are available. All the methods are available. Now, why you are using g_form? Because the ServiceNow is giving GForm API to be utilized if you wanted to script. What you need to use? Object.method. See, if you put object, what is your object? g_form. This is already given by the ServiceNow. If you put dot, all the methods are available. See. Now, what you wanted to do? You wanted to make a field mandatory. See, if you put like this, it is suggesting first you need to enter the field name string. What is the name of the field of channel? Contact_type. Always you need to give the backend name of it. And then the next value that you need to pass is either it is Boolean true or false. Just give true. That means you are making your field mandatory. Similarly, if you wanted to make your field read only, what we are making read only? Assignment group, right? Again, g_form dot set read only. There is a method which is already defined by ServiceNow. Just mention assignment_group. This is the backend name. See, guys, don't type these field names. Since I'm accustomed to these field names multiple times, I'm directly writing. What you need to do, you just need to go to the form, right click, show, copy it, copy and then paste it in your UI policy. Okay. What I'm doing, set read only. Again, I need to give the value as true. Now, g_form dot set display. Set display or set visible. There are two methods you can use it. I'm using assign underscore to. I wanted to hide this, right? Visible false. That means I'm making this field to be hidden. This is my script. Let me just save it. Now, only true condition I'm giving. Let me just reload the form. Now the state is new. If I make state as in progress, see, state as in progress, channel is mandatory, assignment group read only, assign to is gone. The same thing I'm achieving using the script now. Right. Now, if you go here, if you change the state to on board, see this? Still this channel is mandatory, still this assignment group is read only, still assigned to is gone. But the state is on hold. Why this is happening? Because you haven't given the negative condition. See this? Execute if false. You haven't written anything here. That's the reason why always write negative conditions also. Copy the entire script. And then what do you need to do? Contact type true, you need to give as false. Wherever true, that is false. Wherever that is false, you need to give as true. False. And then true. Negative side of it. Then save it. Now your requirement is fully achieved. Go back. Now the state is new. In progress, your functionality is working. Modify it again. The negative condition is also working. That is how the ServiceNow is designing the script. Two areas. If your condition is true, execute if true, execute if false. Got the idea? How to use the scripting, how to use the configuration.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. This is how you need to use. Now, if you wanted to learn this GlideForm API, there is a wonderful documentation. I'm sorry? Any questions? All right. See, if you right click on your object, it will take you to the documentation. It is always giving 404 nowadays, but you can always go to your developer.servicenow.com, references, server global, and then just put it as client. You will find GlideForm here. So this is the documentation. I'll give this URL as well. Try to learn this GForm. Okay. Now, see, it is clearly mentioning g_form object is given. And then these are all methods. See, add decoration is a method. Add decoration again is one more method with color, extra parameter passed. And then add error message is one more method. Add form messages, one more method. That means what? ServiceNow has written everything. They're giving you the API. What you need to do? You just need to know how to use these methods and API. That's it. See this? Even they're giving a lot of examples also how you can add this. Add info message, string message. Now let me get you understanding about this messages also. See this? This is add info message. I wanted to use that. Copy. Go there. For example, I wanted to use here g_form dot add info message, right? Now string you need to pass, then pass like this. This is a successful true condition. The same type of message I wanted to use. Instead of info message, I wanted to use error message. Now This is a false condition. Now let me just save it. I have used two other methods. Go here, refresh. Now you see, since the state is new, your error message is already executing. This is a successful false condition. And then if you make it in progress, now you see, along with your three functions, you are achieving one more function. This is a form message. This is a successful true condition. If you wanted to clear the message, see, you have one more method. See, if you closely observe, for true condition, only this has to come, blue color message. But why this red color is coming? Because you haven't cleared that message. For that, we have clear message, form message also. So let me just add form message and then see clear form message. If you wanted to use that, you can use that. Then the clear message option will be worked. For example, how can I use it? Go here, g_form dot clear message. Use like this, and then same copy. Go to your else condition, same thing. That means that will be erased. Now, same thing. Try to refresh. Try to refresh. Now, in progress. What is happening? It is not clear messages. Okay, clear messages means it is clearing every message. So don't use this. I'll tell you specifically how to clear the message when we deal this client script. Okay, for now, only these are the few methods you wanted to learn. Got the idea? UI policies clear?
Yes.
Oh,
It's clear now.
perfect. See, since we are lagging in covering the concept, daily I'll be taking a 10 to 15 minutes extra to cover all of those days that we never took the class. So that will be compensated. So our batch will be like normal batch only. There won't be any delay. But I want all of you guys to cooperate at least 10 to 15 minutes extra on a daily basis. Is that okay for you?
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Today we'll be starting the client scripts as well. Okay. Because on the client side, these are the key components we need to learn. Now, what is a client script? What is a client script? Now, excuse me. All right. What is a client script? So basically, client script is a client-side logic. I can say JavaScript logic. JavaScript logic that you write. Don't go with the bookish definitions. Okay, always you need to understand what is the real meaning of it. Client script means the script that you are writing on the client side in order to execute your functionality on the form. This is important. See, client script means you're writing a sort of code. This is not the configuration at all. In UI policy, you have the configuration. You can still achieve these functions. But in client script, all you have to write is the code only. That means you're writing some sort of JavaScript code on the client side to achieve your functionality. Now, what type of functionality you will achieve? All the functionalities that you achieve using UI policies. These 6 actions that you are achieving using UI policies, those can be achieved using client scripts also. Plus, lot more other activities using client scripts. All UI policies can be replaced by client scripts. Using client script, you can achieve all these UI policy requirements plus a lot of other. Then what is the difference? Why we have two development components in order to achieve the same thing, right? That question may strike your mind. Where we have already UI policies, UI policy actions we are achieving, our life is good, but still why client script? Even using client scripts also you are achieving the same functionalities. Of course, there are other as well, but why? This part is why. Why? Because see, the concept called precedence. The concept is called precedence. Now, you are making a request from client to the server. The client has to respond. That means this is one round trip. This is one round trip. That means you're requesting server is giving the response. This is called a round trip. Now, in order to reduce that round trip, ServiceNow has introduced a concept called client scripts. That means what? As for the ServiceNow best practices, wherever you wanted to achieve these functionalities, always go for UI policies. Always go for UI policies. Don't use client scripts. ServiceNow is recommending like that. Why? Because this round trip time will be reduced if you use UI policies. That is specifically designed. Let me give you one example. See, if you go to Paradise Biryani, can somebody tell me, do you only find biryani over there? Only find biryani, nothing else?
Starters.
You will find starters, you will find beverages, you will find desserts, you will find lot many other items as well, not only the biryani, right? Exactly the same thing. If you go with the client script, you will find this biryani plus other items. That is what is your client script. Though UI policies are there, though Paradise is famous for biryani, you will find lot many other items, right? Similarly, though this UI policy concept is there, the ServiceNow is giving one more concept called client script, using which you can achieve much more activities. Right. Now, there is one interview question which is widely famous. When I write UI policy and client script, which one takes precedence? Then your answer should be client script. Your answer should be client script. That means what?
Precedence in the sense means when in both, which one runs first?
Exactly. Precedence means which one runs first.
Okay.
For example, if you and your friends are in a running race, who wins is your precedence. Who will reach the destination early, that is your precedence. For example, if you guys are 10 members, then we are comparing this precedence for 10 members, and then who wins, that precedence is given to that particular person. Similarly, since we have UI policies and client script, both are running on the same functionality, then client script will take the precedence. That means it will execute first. It will execute first. How can you decide? See, for example, using UI policy, you are making a field mandatory. Using client script, you are making the same field non-mandatory. Then which one executes?
Not mandatory.
Exactly. Non-mandatory will be executed. That field will not be mandatory because client script is taking precedence. That is your interview question. You need to give them the answer with this kind of example. Okay? So that will be fine. All right. Now, See, what is that? Client scripts. Client scripts. UI policies, whatever the UI policies can do, this client script can do, plus other activities. What are these other activities? These other activities are, these are the other activities. See this? GlideForm, from add decoration till this submit. All these methods will be helpful in your client script to achieve the other activity. See, you cannot do this add decoration with UI policy. You cannot do this add option with UI policy, but you can still do with client script. That is what the other activities means. Now, let me just give you the list of your client scripts. Basically, the types of client scripts we have. Now, the first one, which is on load, right? On load. Second one is on change. Third one on submit. Fourth one on sell, edit. These are the client scripts we have. But I don't want you to remember like this. I want you to remember whenever a client script is there, that is just like your normal JavaScript function. That's it. Though ServiceNow is calling them on load, on change, on submit, on sell, edit, end of the day, they are JavaScript functions only. You already know what is a function? A block of code which is reusable. That means that can be called any number of times. You already know how to write a function, right? Function, and then name of your function, name of your function, and then you need to pass, function, name of your function. You can write your own function name and then parenthesis to pass the parameters like this: 1, 2, parameter, and then left right curly braces, inside which you will write your line number 1, line number 2, and so on. Line number n. Right? This is how you write the function, right? These client scripts are also like this. Why I'm writing like this? On and then capital L, on capital C, capital S, because I'm following camel case. I'm following camel case. You can Google what is camel case. You will get the idea. What is camel case? What is Pascal case? What is snake case? I wanted you to explore it. If you still don't understand, ask me in tomorrow's class. Okay. Pascal case, and then there is one more case called snake case. So in any programming language, you can use either of camel case or Pascal case or snake case. I'm using camel case. Okay. Now, these are the types of client scripts, right? You need to understand what is on load. On load means at the time of, you already know, at the time of form is getting loaded. That means initially when the form is presented to the end user. Okay. On change means when you change a field value on a form, other fields are getting impacted. Like how we achieved today the UI policy. We are making state field as in progress, but other fields like channel, assignment, group, assigned to are getting modified, right? That is what is called on change. We'll be exploring that. What is on submit? At the time of form is being submitted. That means when you hit, once you enter all the values like this, once you enter all the field values on the form, you will hit the button, right? At the time of your hitting this button, then your onSubmit client script will execute. What is onCell edit? It works on the list view. This is a separate client script. Forget about this now. All you have to understand is like onload, onChange, onSubmit for now. OnCell edit, this is a special case we'll be discussing. Understood what is client script, what is the purpose behind it, how you can remember, and what are the types. Got it?
Got it.
Perfect. Today we'll be discussing only one client script, that is onload. Okay. Onload client script. Client script. I have already told you at the time of form is being presented or loaded. See, when I go here to my list view, this is my, let me just clear all of this. I'll just add this list view. This is my list view, right? I'm clicking on this new button. See, my mouse is here. I'm hovering it. I'm clicking on it. When I click on it, see, the form is getting loaded. See, gray color circle is rotating. At the time of that form is loading, if you want your code to be executed, then you will go for this onload client. Let me just write it so that you can understand. First, I would like to disable this UI policy in order to make my form clean. I wanted to remove that UI style as well. This is frustrating. What can I do? Configure styles. See this. I'll just go here. Now you got the idea, Lucky. See, you will see that round color. There are two cases. Either that is a reference field, or if you applied that style. Either way, that circle is getting uploaded. Okay. I'll just remove this just to make sure my form is clean. Okay. I'll just refresh. Now this is good. Now, how can I configure client script? Exactly the same thing like we did for UI policies. Right click on the form header, form, and then form contextual menu. See, when I click on this form right header, this is a context menu, form context menu, and then configure, go to your client scripts. This is one way you can navigate to your client script, new client script, if you wanted to write. Or else there is one more way. All applications, just type client scripts. This is one more way. Under system definition, you can find this client script. There is one more other way. What is that? Simply, if you remember this particular table, then you can just put it like this and then put a dot and rest. This way also you can. Okay. Remembering all the tables is not possible. That's the reason why we will always go from form views. Okay. Now I'll write onload test. I need to define the table, on which table I'm writing. See, ServiceNow is all about tables, right? So I'm defining on this table. Now the UI type, desktop, mobile, service portal, all. Always select all, because you never know this client script can be executed on mobile view, right? That's the reason why always use this UI type, because you don't have any idea. You have no idea whether your client script can be utilized in form view or mobile view or service portal view. That's the reason why, to be on the safer side, select all. But if the client is specifically asking this, your client script has to be run on desktop view, just select desktop or mobile view or all. Like that you can specify it. Now on the right hand side, application is global, because we are setting this application as global, right? And then active, true, false, inherited, forget about it now, and then global. See, if you wanted to apply for a specific view, you can uncheck, otherwise it will be applied to all the views of your particular form. Now, this is important type. See, when you click on this, all your 4 types of client scripts will be available. What is your client script now? Onload, select that. See, when you select onload, description, you can give any description message. If you wanted to give any message, you can give. These are self-explanatory. Now you see the template is already created. When you select onload here, the template is already getting formed here. That means what? The ServiceNow is designed the template also. You no need to write function and then function name. You don't need to write. You just need to script. That's it. Here. See, they're telling you type appropriate comment and begin script below. That means you need to write n number of codes here and n number of lines of code here, right? Now, if I select on change, let me just refresh. Not this. Let me just duplicate it because everything will be gone if I refresh. Test. Now, if you select on change, see, you will see different other function on change. These are the parameters, and then there is some if condition, and then you need to write the code. Let me just duplicate it again. Test 2. If you select on submit, see, you will find on submit function. If I duplicate this with on cell edit, now you see different other function on cell edit, different parameters are passed. If you closely observe, though these are different types of client scripts, but end of the day, these are functions, right? We have written somewhere. End of the day, these are JavaScript functions. So that is what I wanted you to understand. See, if I select on cell edit, one function is written. On submit, one more function is written. On change with parameters, you can see the parameters passed only for on change and on cell edit. For on submit, there are no parameters. For on load also, there are no parameters. That you need to understand. Got the idea? Getting familiar with the form fields?
Yes.
So let me just remove all of the other tabs which are not required. We are concentrating on this onload. Okay, this is on change, right? So let me just make it as load. This is onload. Okay, now what I need to do, I'm just saving it. Definition part is done. Now you need to write the code. Now, what I wanted to do, I just wanted to open one incident form. Now, I wanted to decorate this number field now using my onload client script. When the form is getting loaded, then my code will be executing. Now, what I wanted to do, simply go here, g_form. This is the API. Add decoration, see, add decoration, put like this. Now, if you go to your reference, the first method, see this decoration. If you don't know how to use this method, always go to this documentation and then they are giving the examples like, see this g_form dot add decoration. If you don't know how to pass these values, you need to come here. See this? It is clearly written. First, you need to mention the field name. What is the data type? String. And then again the icon. What is the data type? String. Title, string. String means you need to pass within the quotes. See this? Single quotes or double quotes, whichever you like, you can give that. Now, I'll go to my what we call the add decoration method. First, I need to pass the field name. I'm passing, and then second, what I need to do, icon I need to pass, but that icon has to be there in the list, right? See, if you go here, see these are all the icons available. I wanted to use, probably I would like to use the bulb. We just use the bulb. It is not mentioning. Where is that bulb? Can you see the bulb here? I can use any icon, but I just would like to use the bulb icon. Probably I can use the book icon now. Okay, I need to copy this, go to your script, and then this is your icon. Now you need to pass the title now. See this? Title should be string. This means this field is a special field. I'm just passing some random text. Okay. Now I'll put the semicolon at the end of my statement. Let me just save it. If I come to my form, refresh. Now you see one small book icon is there. See beside my number field. If I zoom out,
Yes.
see this? This is how you can decorate. This you cannot do using UI policy. This you can do using client script. That's the reason why I'm mentioning all the UI policies, actions that you can achieve along with other activities. These are the other activities. Now, if you go to your reference, see there is one more add decoration method. If you wanted to apply some color to your icon, then you can apply the color as well. Now, how can you do that? String color you need to pass. Here, there is a fourth parameter you need to pass. That is your, maybe I'll just give red, the name of the color, and then refresh. Maybe I need to give it in add decoration. Everything is good. String color, right? Okay, maybe I need to give the color and then the name of the color. See here I'm directly giving, I need to mention it is color and then hyphen, and then you need to give the color and then go back. Now if you observe, your icon is colored now. Go back. If you don't like red, maybe you like green. You like green. Instead of red, give green and then save it. Again come back, refresh. That icon will be changed to the green color. Now if you wanted to use hexadecimal color, for example, if you click here, probably I'll brighten up like this. If you wanted to use some mixed color like this, then copy this hexadecimal code and then go here and then check whether these hexadecimal codes are working. I can still give, let me just check. Color, right? I'll just try and then check whether I can give like this or not, because I haven't tried the hexadecimal codes. Let me just try this out. No, it is not working. Hexadecimal codes are not working. You need to give the exact color of it. Basically, you can give all the primary colors. Okay, like you need to give like this. Probably if you wanted to make orange, orange. So let me just save it. Okay, that will be modified to orange. This is your add decoration. Now, the second method is add error message. See, I wanted to display one sort of error message at the top of the form. Then, I'm just copying instead of typing everything. Okay, I'm just modifying this. This is an error message on the top of the form. It's an error message I'm giving. Let me just save it. Come here. Now you see what are the message that you are passing in your script that is getting executed when the form is loading. See, you need to observe when the form is getting loaded, this action is executing, right? That is what is your onload. Now, at the time of form is loading, maybe if you wanted to add one form message, see this? Instead of the error message, right? You wanted to add form message. You can still do that. Just go here, maybe like this, add form message, whatever the message if you wanted to do. For example, let me just copy this just to save some time. Okay, g_form dot add form message. Info means you will get different color. Warning means you will get some other color like this. Okay, let me just save it. Now at the time of loading, this has to be run. Now you see warning yellow color, info blue color, error message red. Like that you will be using this method called form messages. Now add info message. Add info message we have already used, right? The blue color. No need to do again. Now there is one more option, one more method called add option. If you wanted to use this add option, you can use it. How can you do that? Let me just copy it. Now see how this will be working. Add option is used if you wanted to add a field. For example, see this channel is your choice field, right? If you wanted to add one more option to this, see you can see chat, email, phone, self-service, walk-in. Maybe I can use some other method called bot service. How can I do that? Let me just copy the backend name of it. Contact underscore type. Contact underscore type. Go here. Modify it. I'm giving probably the 7 as a value. Yeah, I'm 7. I'm giving. Give bot. Bot service. That means I'm adding one more option to my choice field. If I go here, refresh. Now you see bot service. This you are not doing using the configuration. You are using the script and then you are adding, right, at the time of form is loading. Now, similarly, we have these many methods in order to do different actions. Now, if you wanted to get the table name, you can use this get table name. Let me just use that as well. G underscore form dot. If you wanted to get the table name, and then you are getting, right, whenever you use get method, you need to store somewhere where table name equals, and then if you wanted to show that alert, and then copy, paste, and then save it. Now come back, refresh. Now you see what is the name of your table? Incident. For that reason, you are using that specific method. If you wanted to get the unique value, what is the unique value? SysID you will get. How can you use that? Again, the same thing. If you want to use any method, G underscore form dot get unique value. Whenever you use in any script get, whenever you see this get, you need to store somewhere. SysID probably. And then if you wanted to retrieving is done, you need to know, right? For that reason, I'm using alert. Using alert, you can display that on your form. Again, come back, refresh. First, what is the name of the table? Incident. Second, this is ID of it. Like that, you will get. Now, similarly, I'll use probably set method now. Set value. Okay, these are all get methods. See, get help, get int value, get label of, get reference. All these are getter methods. I can simply call this, all these methods are getters. There is one more thing called setter. All these are setter methods. You need to know all these getter methods and then setter. I would like to use the set value. What is the set value? Set value means you are assigning some value to your field. How can I do that? Simply go here again, G underscore form dot set value of your field name description. I would like to add some value to my short description. And then, this value is coming from script. Like that, I'm entering the value. Save it. At the time of form is getting loaded. Now you see, as of now, the short description is not there. If you refresh, at the time of form is getting loaded, my script is executing. That is setting the value. See this? the value is automatically set. These type of requirements you will get. The client will be mentioning at the time of form is loading, I want these actions to be implemented. Then you will simply go write onload client script. You will use all of these methods which is suitable, and then you can write the code accordingly. If you don't know how to use this set value, see, the documentation is already there. Set value. First you need to pass the field name string and then field value. If you wanted to pass this string display value also, you can pass it. Otherwise you can ignore it. See this? They're giving the examples also. Now you understood how to use this GlideForm API using onload. Getting the idea at least?
Yeah. Yes.
Now, today, I would like you to explore this GlideForm API. Form API, all methods. The task 2 is, I want you to practice each and every method inside this API. Only the GlideForm API, nothing else. I'll tell you what other APIs you need to practice. Task 3, you need to create a new table, new form. On this form, you need to play this Glide API methods. Okay. Now, I'll be writing some use cases. When state is in progress, I want caller is to be a bell shooter, and then let me just modify it. This is very complex. I want short description as mandatory, and then description is read only, and channel is hidden. This I wanted you to practice. Okay. And then task 4, again UI policy. Task 3, I want you to achieve using scripting. Same task, but you need to remove all the UI policy actions in the task 3 and then achieve using execute if true, execute if false. And then task 5, I want you to write onload client script to make at least 5 fields mandatory, 5 fields read only using client scripts, 5 fields hidden. And I want you to decorate short description. I want you to get the table name as alert message, and then sysID as alert, and then I want you to set field values for short description, choice, probably state, and then description. Okay, these are the tasks. I know it will take around 2 hours of your time. I want you to practice. Okay, that's how you will get the hands-on.
Sure, sir.
All right. Any questions before